This week we're in Tavares, Lake County, Florida, one of Florida's oldest towns. This area is so steeped in history, and this week we're going to go birding from a 100-year-old steam engine. Hop on board and let's go birding. Whoa, Santa.
Look guys, you made it, it's Santa!
We wanted to find out if you have a bird watching report from the North Pole.
I heard that there are a lot of penguins.
A lot of penguins? What
On
about
the move.
Did you see any snowy owls?
Yes, the snowy owls are on the flight. They're headed south.
Wow, do you think we'll see them in Florida?
Yes,
Excellent.
Soon. Watch
Right.
the woods.
Thanks, Santa. Santa's obviously not that up to speed on his birding because penguins are only found in the South Pole. This week we're in Lake County, Florida. Lake County is steeped in history. The downtown areas of Mount Dora and Eustis have these historical buildings, and the streets are lined with art and antique shops. You know, Lake County doesn't boast the largest post box in the world, or the hugest shopping mall, or the longest roller coaster ride. The attributes of Lake County are really due to Mother Nature itself. This morning I'm at Seminole Lake Gliderport, and I'm going in an unmotorized flying vessel called a glider, and I'm going to fly like the birds.
This I'm going to use in case he doesn't behave. Bang, bang.
Well, I'll tell you something, I might feel better being unconscious in this thing. I don't know.
Okay.
Wow, this is going to be an experience. This is going to get pretty claustrophobic in here, right?
No, not at all, because you can see out.
Wow.
See, you got lots of room, you can move around.
Pretty cool.
What's
What's your safety track record with these things?
Safety record?
Yeah.
As related to accidents?
Yes.
Well, we do the best we can. How's that?
All right, that fills me with confidence. Thank you, Jan. Let's get up there and let's go flying.
All right then.
T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Woo! Holy smokes! You know, humans have been fascinated by birds and the power of flight for thousands and thousands of years. And I've always wanted to fly like an eagle. And this is what we're doing right now. You know, birds have so many different strategies for flight. You've got woodpeckers that do this kind of flap, flap, glide, flight, flap, flap, glide. Then you've got hummingbirds which hover like helicopters and are able to go frontwards and backwards. And then of course, you've got the great soarers of the world, the eagles, vultures, and albatross. And that's exactly what we're doing right now. I'm soaring and getting the same perspective that a bald eagle will get over the lakes here in Lake County. Absolutely superb, and an experience that is really unbeatable in my eyes. If you like birding, you've got to come up here to Lake County and take one of these glider trips with Seminole Lake Gliderport. Absolutely a trip that you will never forget. Coming in to land this baby. Wow. Little bit bumpy, huh? Wow.
Here we are.
Woo-hoo-hoo! That was amazing. Wow. You really get the perspective of flying like a vulture or an eagle. So much better than you would in a motorized aircraft. Thank you so much, Jan.
Oh, thank you.
That was an amazing flight. Thank you very much. And now we're off to Venetian Gardens to go and look for some gallinules.
Okay.
This Birding Adventures episode is powered by Nikon, your world leader in optics since 1917. And by Lake County, Florida. Lakes, hills, horizons, where the best comes into view.
A couple of birder friends here in Lake County have told me about a place called Venetian Garden in Leesburg, Lake County. And at this place, they say you can get within feet of American purple gallinules and limpkin. Now, my experience with American purple gallinules has told me that these birds don't like to be seen. They're shy. So I've got to get a look at this. I think we may have figured out why the birds are so tame here. I think old duck guy, red guy over there, has made these purple gallinules walk around like chickens. Pretty cool for us birders though. Unbelievably good looks at them.
Do you find they like this kind of bread rather than like English muffin or something like that?
Yeah, some of them don't like certain kinds.
It's really quite fascinating how tame these American purple gallinules are here. I mean, they're literally 3 to 4 feet right in front of me here. And just coming around, walking around like chickens. It's absolutely fascinating to see them this close. And you get them in the right light, like this sort of late morning light now, and that beautiful metallic blue color really shines through. They are spectacular birds. And you look at the big adults over here with their nice blue frontal shield, that weird sort of pale blue color, and then that dark metallic blue on the feathers. They really are magnificent with reds, blues, purples, and of course the light pale blue on the bill. Let's see, we've got a youngster here too. Youngster coming in, and you can tell the youngsters apart from the adults because they don't have that blue frontal shield, that beautiful magnificent shield on the front of their head. They're very paler in color, but you can see this youngster starting to get that metallic sheen on its feathers now. Wow. Look at these gallinules walking here through the lily pads, and they've got these giant yellow feet. And those feet are very specifically designed to displace the weight of the gallinule, so they can walk over floating vegetation and that weight's displaced and they don't sink into the water. Very elegant with those long yellow toes. You can see the juvenile gallinule over here. He's probably just 3 feet from the end of my hand here, and that's how close he is. Not the least bit afraid of us. This is Venetian Garden in Leesburg, Lake County. And you can get seriously close to birds like this beautiful limpkin over here. He's literally 20 feet from me and not bothered in the slightest. I feel like a shepherd tending his flock of sheep.
This Birding Adventures episode is powered by Nikon, the world leader in optics since 1917, and by Hobie Mirage Drive Kayaks. Enjoy nature effortlessly.
This afternoon we're at Emeralda Marsh, which is close to Leesburg in central Lake County. I'm with my good friend Gallus Quigley, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what Emeralda Marsh has to offer.
Well, Emeralda Marsh is a little over 7,500 acres of wetland on the shores of Lake Griffin. Every time you come out here, you're going to get at least 50 or 60 bird species easily. Absolutely spectacular birding spot.
Now, Gallus, you telling me the other day that you've got some very rare disease. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I have what I call listing disease, and it's a very unique disease in terms that I am afflicted with the disease, but I suffer none of the symptoms. Only those around me suffer the symptoms of the disease, which is me running off and chasing birds. So it's very unique disease in that, and there's also absolutely no cure. So
not even beer, women,
no,
nothing.
No, sorry. If my fiance said I had to give up birding for her, she'd lose. So
I hope she's not watching this.
she might watch it. She's not a birder, obviously, and she says I told her, it's like, whatever you do, I was like, if we ever have a baby, I said, you better hope there's not a mega rarity at the same time, because the mega rarity have to come first, because we can always have another kid, but you can't necessarily guarantee there'll be another mega rarity in the state.
I like the way you think, Gallus. Let's go find some birds.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the most highly sought after family of birds here at Emeralda Marsh are the rallids, and Emeralda happens to have a very great diversity of them. Over here we've got this marshland over here, and further up we also have some wet prairie, and this is where we can find Sora rail, king rail and Virginia rail. So we're going to give it a whirl with the tape and see if we can lure one out. There's a Sora there. See the yellow bill just come out of the reeds there. He's walking right in the open. That's a nice shot. Just walking in the open there. Yes, we've got a Sora rail. That's one of the three that we're looking for. Is that a Virginia rail? Were you playing Virginia rail call just now?
I was playing it earlier. But this is a good spot for Virginias too.
Yes, Virginia rail. Awesome. That's king rail.
Oh yes, king rail. Very nice.
Awesome. Got a great blue heron with a snake over here. It's about to eat it. Probably going to be a banded water snake. Something similar. Let's try and see if we can get this. There he is, trying to gobble it down. What he's trying to do right now is position the snake, kill it, overpower it, and then take it head first straight down the hatch. Wow! The tail is actually coiled around the top of the... he's just kind of thrown it out again. He's trying to re-swallow it, but you can actually see the snake moving. Wow, that's incredible. Oh, and that final little gulp, the final little throwback of the head, and that snake has gone all the way down, slithering its way to a terrible death. This Birding Adventures episode is powered by Nikon, your world leader in optics since 1917, and by Lake County, Florida. Lakes, hills, horizons, where the best comes into view. Lake Apopka Restoration Area is one of the best sites in all of Florida for rare birds. We met up with the land manager for the St. Johns River Water Management District, Maria Zondervan, and she showed us the sites for numerous other exciting rarities, like the stunning vermilion flycatcher, and several confiding ash-throated flycatchers.
This morning we're in Tavares, Lake County, and I'm here with Clint from Jones Brothers. They conduct these amazing seaplane adventures from Lake Dora over here in Lake County. This morning there's been a report of 2 groove-billed Annies that have showed up on Lake Apopka. So we're going to hop in the seaplane, take off from Lake Dora, come in, land on Lake Apopka and do some birding.
Well, that was a great flight. Clint has just flown us here into Lake Apopka, and I've got to wade a little bit. He doesn't want to get too close to the shoreline here, so I'm going to get in the water, wade across, and hopefully find my buddy Gallus. Lake Apopka. That was pretty hairy. Walking through the swamp here, infested with gators, and we made it though. Got everything intact, all my gear, and it's now time to go and find Gallus.
That wasn't the way I was expecting you to arrive.
We flew in on a seaplane. It was so awesome. Sorry I'm late. I was like an hour late. You've been waiting.
Well, for that kind of entrance, I think it was worth it.
This is where the Annies are?
This is where the Annies are.
So we just hopped off the seaplane and we scoured the edge of this kind of road embankment here looking for these groove-billed Annies, and it took us about half an hour, and suddenly 2 of them have just popped up on top of this bush right here. Annies are not really shy birds because they live in pasture lands where they'll actually follow cattle and even people walking through the grass, and as the grasshoppers and insects get disturbed by the people or cattle walking through the grass, the Annies will come down and feed on those insects. These guys are really close to me over here. What makes this such an incredible sighting is that normally when Annies are seen in Florida, it's a single bird. But here we have 2 birds together. The Annies are such an interesting family of birds. They're very closely related to the cuckoos, and the reason that is that they actually have zygodactyl feet, which means they have 2 toes facing forwards and 2 toes facing backwards. And they're also such comical birds. I like to think of Annies as the little black gorillas of birds. They've got this kind of furry look to them with these nice big bills, and they're so comical the way that they behave. They'll often jostle up to each other, play with each other, and they're always found in these groups of either 1 breeding pair up to 5 or 6 breeding pairs all in one group. And what's so unusual about these groove-billed Annies is that they'll nest communally. So you'll have up to 5 or 6 different breeding pairs all laying their eggs in one communal nest. And in fact, one nest has been found to have at least up to 20 different eggs. And all those birds will then help to raise the chicks. In a group of Annies, it's quite a complex social structure because you will have one dominant pair of birds, and then as soon as the dominant pair of birds starts laying the eggs, all the other pairs will then lay at the same time. And they'll have up to 20 eggs in that nest, raising the babies communally, and that strengthens the opportunity for those babies to get to adulthood and leave the nest. The difference between the groove-billed Annie and the smooth-billed Annie is actually very, very slight. You have to look very, very closely at the bill and look for all the grooves on both mandibles with the groove-billed Annie. The smooth-billed Annie, most of them lack that grooving on the bill. I wouldn't be surprised if these birds are actually a pair.
because they're doing some kind of ritual behavior here, passing a leaf back and forwards to each other. This is very interesting behavior, and I'm not sure whether birds that aren't a pair would do that to each other. Possibly, but there's a strong possibility here that these are a male and a female together. These groove-billed arnies have their own built-in heating system. That early morning sun will actually beat down on those feathers, heat up the entire body, and the arnies will spread their wings and ruffle the feathers on their neck to expose as much of those feathers to the early morning sun as possible. And as soon as they get sort of heated up and their systems are nice and ready to go, they'll then fly off that perch and they'll start foraging in the undergrowth here at Lake Apopka.
And there they go, moving their way down this canal. Groove-billed arnies, a super rarity for this part of Florida. In fact, this is probably only the second record that we know about for Lake County, Florida. And the birds occasionally overwinter in the panhandle in Florida from year to year. But for the entire state, this is a very, very good bird.
Yes, our golden bird for this episode, the groove-billed arnie.